This episode of Southeast Iowa Today is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa. Using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix it, clean it, and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa. For all your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. Hinshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa. You need a trailer? They've got your trailer, and they can fix what they sell and don't in their full-time repair shop. Gerling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. Fred also fixes and sells snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of jet stops. Dutch Market and Coffee Talk of Washington, Iowa. Dutch Market can handle all of your grocery needs, and they even have a conference room you can use for free. Coffee Talk's drive-thru is open and ready to serve you coffee, energy drinks, sandwiches, baked goods, and ice cream. They all present the award-winning Southeast Iowa Today. Here's the author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host, John Bain.
Thank you, Cody Roy of NewEnglandDukes.com for your golden pipes and wonderful introduction. Back on March 10th, Monday, March 10th, 2025, I attended the Mount Pleasant Community School District School Board meeting, Board of Education meeting, and Superintendent John Henriksen gave the superintendent's report, and here it is for you to watch and listen.
Superintendent's report number one, facilities master planning schedule. Just an update. We met last week. The leadership team met last week on Thursday, and we looked at concept plans and we looked at some budget estimates. The next meeting that we will have is March 24th. We will have we'll have a session here at 6 o'clock. We'll have it'll be a special session and work session because we'll have a few unrelated action items. But then SVPA will be with us and Nelson, and we will go through some of the concept drawings again and some of the budget estimates that were part of that. So that's on the 24th of March. Number two, the one-to-one device renewal update. Tomorrow morning we meet with Nick from Apple, and we're finalizing the number of laptops and iPads and everything that goes along with that lease. And I hope, I'm hopeful that we could have that lease agreement as part of the March 24th board meeting. So we'll see if we can, what we can get done on that. If not, it will definitely be in April at our regular meeting. IASB data boost. I did not plan this actually, but I want to show when we get data from different statewide data from the School Board Association. I like to show it oftentimes because it's definitely pertinent to our school district. So this right here is the School Board Association for this school year, based on this school year's October 2024 certified enrollment. And this is the percentage of English language learners, actually. So you can see the total enrollment served across the state is 474, almost 475,000, and just over 38,000 of those students are English language learners. That's your median, and then your average percentage per district. And I'll show you kind of where we're at in Southeast Iowa. That's the average per district, and then that is the maximum in a district. So you kind of go over here to the legend, and their legend isn't quite right. They didn't get this right here because they missed a percentage jump here. But the darker blue you get, the more, the higher the percentage of English language learners. So let me pull over here to Southeast Iowa, and you can see Mount Pleasant is that shade of blue right there. And as Michelle said, we're 8.6% English language learners. So 8.6% of our students, of our total certified enrollment, are English language learners. You think about that, you know, you're getting close to 10%, almost 1 in 10 of each of our students need support with the English language. So you can see, and that percentage, I would just mention as well, that percentage from 2 to 10, some of these districts, the district that looks, I would say, the most like us in the region is Washington. And their EL population isn't quite as large as ours, but as the EL team mentioned, the only district in the AEA that's larger than us in EL learners is Tumwa. And so, you know, we're serving a lot of kids who need support with the English language. So,
John, what is the current student waiting for certified enrollment for EL students?
I don't know it off the top of my head, but I will find out for you.
It's lower than
special needs?
Special needs?
It is.
But not by
Yeah, let me, I'll find out for you here.
Okay, thank you.
And you guys know as well, as Michelle mentioned, we generally each year we certify additional weighting for students that are 5 years and beyond, because we have students that the needs are in the program and we have them in 5 years and beyond, but they as their presentation showed as well, our kids they really grow and have a strong graduation rate, and we just continue to work with those kids until they have what they need. Let's see, certified, next thing on the superintendent's report is a certified budget public hearing. That's hearing number 1. We're going to do that on March 24th as well. It's its own separate meeting, so that's what we will start with on March 24th. Will be a public hearing on the certified budget. I'll show you because these had to be reported. They've been shared with the county, whatever county you're located in, so that tax information could be sent to property owners. Fiscal year 26, next year, proposed area school district tax rates. You can see some of the districts in our region, some of the kind of the comparison schools a little bit, and you can see what we're proposing for next year is $11.97 per thousand for our school district tax rate. We've seen a decrease over the last probably 4 to 5 years when we were upwards of $14, and last year $12.23. Excuse me, last year. The current year that we are in, $12.23. So we would be looking at a reduction in the levy rate of 26 cents. So that'll be on the agenda. The first public hearing will be on the agenda for March 24th. Another item that will be on that agenda is we will, during the work session time of that meeting, our Director of Buildings and Grounds will be with us, Chad Vinghouse. We'll go over the proposed buildings and grounds project proposals. We went over those with the site committee on Thursday, and proposing just over $1 million, $1.2 million, as we're still waiting on a few estimates for repairs, upgrades, pouring concrete, roof repairs, building remodels, those kinds of things. So that will be on the work session agenda for March 24th. And then finally, for the superintendent's report, is a legislative update. This was from Dave Dotton, our lobbyist. He met with the regional superintendents on March 5th. Funnel was Friday, so bills should start winding down. The state supplemental aid, which is school funding, he said there's been no movement whatsoever. Not sure the reason why. There is a revenue estimating conference meeting this week. They do it in March, so they may be waiting on what comes out of that committee, the revenue estimates for the state. So they may be waiting on that. The governor and the Senate are really dug in on 2%. These are his words, not mine. Governor and the Senate are really dug in at 2%. The House would still like to see something higher. They propose 2.5%. Bills that have gone through committees on either side, and they could go to floor votes at any time. I've mentioned this, out-of-state placement funding, some additional funding for special needs students whose most appropriate placement may be out of state, which can get pretty expensive at times, and so some funding for that. IPER's return to teaching is a bill that's come out of both Senate and the House. So if there is a teacher who has retired and would like to draw IPERS and would like to return to draw IPERS and return to the classroom, continue to teach, you can do that. The maximum that you can make is $50,000. Well, the problem that the state teacher minimums created was that to hire those teachers back who had more than 12 years of experience, you had to pay them $60,000 and now $62,000. So they're trying to fix that in that bill. And then the cell phone and device bill for schools, and no personal devices or cell phones during instructional time. That's been through both committees and could go to the floor at any time. Still in committee, something they mentioned, we should keep our eye on an instructional materials list bill. It's a bill to require teachers to put online all resources that they would use in their classrooms. It's certainly not a bad idea. It's just it could be pretty extensive. So we want to make sure that we're watching that. So another thing that they mentioned is a reduction in force bill, that every district would need to have a reduction in force policy. We certainly have that in our handbook, our employee handbook, but this bill would prohibit seniority from being considered in reduction in force. So again, just a bill to keep an eye on. An ag committee bill that requires instruction on nutrition and local food production. There's a bill that would look at special education weighting studies. As Aaron mentioned, the additional weighting that we give for special education students to meet their needs, those weightings have not been reviewed in many, many years, and so there's a study bill to take a look at that. There is a bill that would remove the 1,080 instructional hours, the minimum, that as a minimum, as an option, and go back to instructional days. And again, these are the lobbyist words, they're not mine. He said it really may be an effort to curb 4-day school weeks, going back to instructional days instead of instructional hours. So, several bills that enhance the school resource officer program, which would be great. Could be additional weighting or removing the cap on sharing if you were sharing an SRO, or perhaps paying for the SRO out of the management fund. And I wanted to mention that there was no mention of school start date bills, of moving up the start date any earlier than August 23rd. And you guys know that the way the calendar falls this year, the earliest start date, the earliest day that we can start school for in the fall of 2025 is August 25th, as per the law. So that's the superintendent's. Okay. I thank you, Jessica. So Aaron, Jessica just looked up for our EL students, level 1, proficiency level 1. It's 0.26 of the per pupil. So you get an additional 0.26 of the per pupil. And then proficiency level 2 is 0.21. So they're advancing then. Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Next up on reports is board committee reports. Do any board members have anything they'd like to share? All right. Next thing is other board communications. You all received the letter of resignation from Sarah Donnelly for our director, District 2. Next up is consent items. We have personnel and open enrollment. We can take those as individual or one motion. If there are no questions.
I'd move to approve both.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call.
Blends,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga.
Yes. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. Our first item is consideration to approve the central office lease agreement.
Okay, central office lease agreement. We went over this. I went over this with the site committee on Thursday. The proposal is a 1-year, August 1, 2025 central office lease agreement for the current location that we are in. Our current lease agreement that started August 1 of 2022 was a 3-year lease agreement. It was $3,600 total monthly. And when I say for both areas, that's both sides of the hallway, on the east and on the west. No change to that. And the proposed 1-year lease agreement that would start this August would see a slight increase to $3,865 per month. That's again total for both areas, $46,380 yearly. I did include the first page of the packet there, of the lease agreement. If anybody wants to take a look at it, you're welcome to. It is on the website as well. So would recommend that you approve.
Motion to approve the 1-year lease for central office.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Blends,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga.
Yes. Next, we have consideration to approve first reading of School Board Policy 900 series, which is community relations.
Okay, so again, what the goal here in doing another series right away, I would like to try and get through as many series as we can this year to line our policies, our school board policies up with the Iowa Association of School Boards policy reference manual policies and their numbers. So what I did was I reviewed all of the school board policy reference manual policies in the 900 series, and I reviewed our local 900 policies and lined those up with the language and the numbering in the policy reference manual. So this, what it really does is it lines our policies up with the reference manual, same numbers, same titles, same language on our 900 series. We did the same with the 800 series over the last 2 months, and my goal is to do the 100 series in May and June. So we'll have completed three series by the time it's done to get all that taken care of. You can see the titles in community relations there. I sent these to all board members for your review. They're on the website as well. They're here as well. If we want to go through them, happy to do that. There's a lot of them, and so my recommendation would be to approve first reading the 900 series policies.
The rates for Central Campus are not on what's posted here.
Well, I changed that. Okay.
We haven't made a motion, so they have to take it back.
Well, I did. Let me see here, Josh, because it's probably what's in your packet, which is what we need to go with. But I did change them here, so my apologies. I thought I changed them here. Let me get to it. It's 9:05. Fee schedule. And okay, I apologize. So I'd recommend that you approve them with the change, and here's what I can do. Let me go to the 900 series, and I will go to that fee schedule, and I do have it here so you can know what it will be changed to. So Mount Pleasant High School, Gymnasium Commons area, Media Center, classroom. Mount Pleasant Middle School, Gymnasium classroom. Elementary schools, Gymnasium classroom, and then Central Campus, which mirrors the high school Gymnasium. The Commons at the Howe, and the Chapel Auditorium. So that's what I would recommend in that policy, and my apologies for that change.
Motion to approve the first reading of school board policies 900 series with the change to policy 905.
So moved.
Second.
Jessica, roll call.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinka.
Yes. Next, we have consideration to approve first reading of school board policy 208, ad hoc. No, my bad. Yep, no, that's next. Ad hoc committees.
402.
Oh, I skipped one. C, sorry, mine. Consideration to approve first reading of board policy 402.04, gifts to employees.
Okay, and so the reason that I'm asking you to approve a first reading of this is because we had, in our 900 series, we had a policy, gifts to employees, that was in our 900 series. In the School Board Association reference manual, it is in the 400 series, and this is the policy, that's the number, that is the title, so I would recommend that you approve the first reading. This puts it in the same series as the reference manual.
Motion to approve first reading of school board policy 4024, gifts to employees.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Blend.
Yes.
Mullen.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Kissinger. Yes.
Now on to item D, which is consideration to approve first reading of school board policy 208, ad hoc committees.
Okay, same thing with this policy. We had several policies in the 900 series that spoke to, the policy language spoke to board appointed committees, could be citizen committees or other types of committees, but board appointed committees. That was in, and the appointment and the dissolution of those committees. That was in our 900 series. In the reference manual, it's covered in the 200 series under ad hoc committees. Would recommend that you approve first reading.
Motion to approve first reading of school board policy 208, ad hoc committees.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Blend.
Yes.
Mullen.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Kissinger. Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve changes to the 24-25 school calendar.
Okay. So, what this document, I'll kind of scroll back and forth on this document so you guys can see it. The list here is the is the date of the day that we had some type of school dismissal or cancellation. So our delays, our school cancellations, and we've had 2 cancellations, a number of delays, and early out. So we have missed, if you add those all up, we have missed a total of 26.75 instructional hours. Okay? We missed a total of 26.75 instructional hours. Let me go up to the top. The required minimum for instructional hours is 1,080. That's in the state code, that's the required minimum. Our calendar we started the year with 1,096.25 instructional hours in the calendar, okay? So just keep in mind, we're trying to, we need to get to this minimum of 1,080. So, having missed 26.75, what I'm recommending to you tonight, and I'll go through the bottom here in just a second, these dates down here. What I'm recommending to you is that we make up a day for students on Friday, May 30th. That would add back in instructional hours 6.5, which gets us down to 20.25. And remember that we had 16.25 of flexibility. That puts us 4 hours short of the minimum of 1,080. So my recommendation to you tonight is the plan for makeup as of this date. And I say as of this date because if we miss any more days, if we have late start, we have a far delay, we have an early out something, we're gonna have to, students are gonna have to return on Monday, June 2nd, to get to the number of required hours. So the current plan, if we can avoid any more dismissals, cancellations, Friday, May 9th would be a full day for students. It would not be our normal early out. Friday, May 9th would be a full day for students. Friday, May 23rd would be a full day for students. And then, as I already mentioned, Friday, May 30th would be a full day for students. And what that does is it allows our students to be done in May, not going to June. We've talked about that a lot, in our SIAC committee. That's a preference. If we can make it happen, that's great. If we can't make it happen, we'll have to go into June a little bit. So, For staff, staff have to complete 187 contract days. So the two makeup days for staff would be Monday, June 2nd, and with this calendar would be Monday, June 2nd, and Tuesday, June 3rd, to get to the 187 days. So, unless you have questions, I would recommend that you approve this calendar update.
Any questions? Motion to approve the changes to the 24-25 school calendar.
I will so move.
Second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call.
Flint.
Yes.
Mullen.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Huseka. Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve the physical plant and equipment levy spending plan.
Okay, so we went over the PEPL physical plant and equipment levy spending plan at our February work session. There's been no changes. We went over this again, we went over it as well at the site committee meeting last Thursday. There have been no changes since the last time we met on this. I will tell you that we will meet with Apple tomorrow and try and finalize some of the lease information. And with the current buyback that our current fleet, the buyback that we would receive, we think this payment can be covered by the buyback. So that would not be part of the total, but I left it in here because we don't know that yet. It's total of just over $1 million for PEPL, mostly technology, as you can see, mostly technology services, and our PEPL revenue for next year estimated to be about $1.152 million. So would recommend, unless you have questions, I would recommend that you approve.
Any questions? Motion to approve the physical plant and equipment levy spending plan.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call.
Flint.
Yes.
Mullen.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Huseka. Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve a request to waive athletic ineligibility period.
Okay, so as board members, you know, if a student transfers via open enrollment, there is an automatic 90-day ineligibility period for varsity sports. And so you've had a request, you've got it in your packet, you've had a request with a student transfer who is asking for the ineligibility period to be waived. It would have to be, oh, I'm sorry, somebody said something. The board from both school districts would have to approve the ineligibility, the waiver of the ineligibility period. We've entertained these before, and the board has not approved those unless there are circumstances that we would really need to consider looking at. My recommendation is that you do not approve this ineligibility waiver.
How long is it? When did it transfer?
I'm going to say right at about that December, that Christmas break time. And the ineligibility period starts when the enrollment starts.
Is there a motion to approve the request to waive athletic ineligibility period?
Also moved.
Is there a second?
Before I do, I just want to acknowledge, I know this is a difficult subject, and I wish that we could prove, all wishes for all students, but just to remain consistent with what we've done in the past, I will offer second to motion.
Jessica? Roll call.
Mullins,
No?
Mullen,
No.
Williamson,
No.
Hampton,
No.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga. No.
Next, we have consideration to approve overnight trip request for the state science fair.
Okay. So the State Science Fair, March 27th and 28th in Ames, they would go up on Wednesday night because they start early, go on Thursday morning, and then go into Friday. And by the way, I did in your pack, I would recommend that you approve the overnight trip request. And in your packet, there is information on the open house for for Science Fair this Thursday night, 5 o'clock till 6:30, right here in the high school media center. You can come, and all of our Science Fair students can share their projects with you. They can tell you their hypothesis, give you their research, and what the outcomes were for that. So that's Thursday, but I would recommend that you approve the overnight trip request for State Science Fair.
Do we know how many participants?
There are at least 10 that are going on the trip.
Motion to approve overnight trip
So moved.
request. Second?
I'll second.
Jessica, roll call.
Mullins,
Yes?
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga. Yes.
And then we have consideration to approve another overnight trip request for the state FFA convention, also in Ames.
Yep, in Ames, April 13 through 15, state convention. Just a great opportunity for our kids to meet other FFA kids across the state, do a lot of learning. Would recommend that you approve.
How many students?
Yeah, I should have known that. Derek, do you know how many kids?
From what I've asked, it's 12 to 14, so I don't have an exact number. 12 to 14 students. They'll also be competing in contests at the state level as well that they need to qualify for, or that are only held at the state convention.
Motion to approve overnight trip request for state FFA.
So,
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mullins,
Yes?
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga. Yes.
The next item on our agenda is a negotiations discussion, which is exempt from open meeting laws. Do we have a motion to go into those?
I don't think we don't need a motion to go in for negotiations
Okay.
discussion.
So with that, our open portion of our meeting is concluded. Thank you.
There's always a lot going on at local school board meetings in Southeast Iowa, and I'm proud that I was able to bring this to you on this episode. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode and all of my podcast episodes, please make sure to give them a like and make sure to follow and subscribe. It's free. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you to my sponsors, Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Hinshaw Trailer Sales, Girling Repair, B&B Propane, and the family of Jet Stops, the Dutch Market, and Coffee Talk. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.